I think there's ample seating, or standing, as the case may be. Choose as you will.
Nice going, Sam.
Thank you. Can I help you?
As Sam has always jumped into
Maybe in
my
the kitchen.
No, that's okay. That's okay. All right, I'll sit right here. Okay.
Oh, you want to set the mood?
Courtney, where are you going to sit?
Okay. At my house.
That's where you sit. Well, because you got a bum knee.
Take one, pass it down.
Oh, you know what? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put these here.
Good.
Well,
Who's on your phone? Everybody have one?
Judy?
I was going to say it's nice to be with you. I'm sorry for the reason why we're together. But being together is good. Being together is the only thing that helps even marginally in times of sadness. And it's what Jews do really, really well. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to be together in Corky and Howard's living room. We're going to pray a slightly early Mariv service. God will forgive us for being slightly early. Jews generally being late, it balances out karmically. Howard's going to share some words on behalf of the family. If there are others who want to speak, there will be space for that, but there's no expectation. And we'll just take this as a chance to honor who Sandi was in the world, who Sandi will always be for you. Take a chance to come together and to offer the comfort of being together. Acknowledge the multiplicity of rabbis in the room. We have a Beit Din present. Rabbi Joe, Rabbi Ralph. It's good to have you with us. If I haven't met you before, I'm Adam Friedwald, I'm the rabbi at CBI, and we are very, very lucky to have Corky and Howard as parts of our community now. I am wearing a mask because my daughter has a little bit of a cold, and just as I was driving over here, I felt a tickle, and so want to be extra careful. I'll try to speak up because I know this muffles a little bit. But nobody will miss my singing voice, as people at CBI know very well. The Mariv service is on page 26. Having no sense of direction whatsoever in which county, and in Laguna Woods even less so. What way is east? I believe whatever you told me.
Does anybody have a shot at what which
Rabbi
way is east?
Joe's getting it. Rabbi Joe's getting it.
We have a compass.
East is this way.
East is that way, toward the Monet.
Ah,
There you go.
oh, it's sort of. That way. So east is going to be in this direction, and invite you, if you're able to please rise. On page 26, we'll start the service. I should say, as we start, for some people, these words are incredibly familiar on your tongue. If they are, please join together. If these words are a little bit alien, if they are not familiar, if they don't in themselves bring comfort, this is equally good time to just use for meditation, for remembering Sandi, for sending love to Corky and to Howard and to Harriet. However you want to use this time, it's all sacred time. והחורךו מחבריו ולא ישחית, והרבה להשיבה פה ולא יראה כל חמתו. אדוני הושיע מלך ינינו ביום קוראנו. ברכו את אדוני המבורך. Baruch Adonai Hamborach Le'olam Va'ed. If you have a seat, you can avail yourself of it. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Melech Yochai v'kayam tamidim l'chalenu le'olam va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Amari V'aravi. Page 28. Avat Olam Beit Yisrael. כי הם היינו ביורך ימינו, והם נגע יומם ולילה,
ואהבת תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. Please join me in the Shema on page 30. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. אני אדוני אלוהיכם שהוצאתי אתכם מאת מצרים להיות להם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם. Middle of page 36. משה בני ישראל להנו שירה בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נוראתי לא תוסף אלה. מלכותך רבנך בקיים לפני משה, זה אלינו ויאמרו אדוני אלוהינו לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, כלא מיד עסק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני Shall Yisrael. Would you read the English with me on the top of page 39? Let's read it together. Help us, O God, to lie down in peace, and awaken us to life on the morrow. May we always be guided by your good counsel, and thus find shelter in your tent of peace. Shield us, we pray, against our foes, against plague, destruction, and sorrow. Strengthen us against the evil forces which abound on every side. May we always sense your care, for you are our merciful sovereign. Guard us always and everywhere. Bless us with life and peace. Praise to you, God of peace, who guards your people Israel, now and evermore. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום אתה ביד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, שומר עמו ישראל לעד. I'm going to continue on page 44, and then we'll go into a silent Amidah. Yitkadal v'yitkadal shemei rabbi, v'yamad yiprach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayedecho beit Yisrael, v'galav isman kariv, v'imru amen. Yedesh me'ram barach, me'olam me'al mayam. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yipar v'yitramam v'yitmaseh, Yitadar v'yitaleh v'yital shemei l'kudashah Reichu le'lam min kol birchata v'shirata Tishbechata v'nechemata Damiram v'yalma v'yimru. The evening Amidah, which is found on page 46, is said quietly. I invite you to stand. You are more than welcome, again, to follow along in the words of the Hebrew as we face east. Or also welcome to take this as a time for your own private meditation and remembrance. We'll come back together in a couple of minutes. For now, we'll hold some quiet. Shalom Nimrama. Uyase Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ve'imru. Imru. Amen. Yase Shalom. Yase Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yase Shalom, Yase Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yase Shalom, Yase Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yase Shalom, Yase Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Amen. Yikadav Yikadash Merada. Biyamad Yivrat Yurtei Biyamad Chokhtei B'chai. Yekona Biyamad Chokhtei B'chai. Yekona B'Yisrael. V'Galav Isman Kari B'Yimeru.
Amen.
Yesh Me'Rabban Aborah. Le'olam Le'olam V'Yeh. Yifarah. Yibbarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v't'mah v'yidaseh v'yitadar v'yitoleh v'yitoleh shmei d'kudashah v'yifuleh l'mikol b'chata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata d'anilam b'yalma v'yimeru Yehei shalom rava min shamayim v'chaim aleinu v'kol Yisrael v'yimeru Oseh shalom nimrama v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru Aleinu is on page 62. Aleinu l'shohel v'yom ha'kol, v'aseitu la'yoseh reshi, shelo asar b'yei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo samchokenu kahen, v'gor aleinu k'nehol ha'monam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ובתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו It's the way with loss, that loss over the course of our life is cumulative. Every loss carries with it all of the losses that precede it.
Yeah.
And it was really not very much time at all that we were gathered in this room saying Kaddish for Elaine. And here you are in the span of just a few months, now saying Kaddish for a second sister. And so, as we turn to Kaddish on 68, give Corky and Harriet, and anybody else who wishes to join the opportunity to remember with Kaddish. I hope that you're carrying the love of both of those women wrapped around you. I hope you feel them both close, together with your parents and all others who you're carrying in memory. We offer Kaddish in their honor, testimony to the idea that people die, but love doesn't. It's on page 68. Yikadav, Yikadash, Shmei Rabbah, V'yalma Tivrach Yirutei, V'yamlech Malchutei, V'chayechon V'yomechon, V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, V'gala U'bizman Kariv V'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah V'orach, V'olam Omei Omei, Yibarach V'yishtavach, V'yipahar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitalev, V'yitalal, Shnei V'kudusha, V'yichud, Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechamata, Damiran Bialmod Imru Amen. Yehi Shlomo Rabba Min Shemaya. V'chaim Aleinu Bial Kol Yisrael Imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'Roma. Uyaseh Shalom. Aleinu Bial Kol Yisrael Imru Amen. If you have a seat, I invite you to take it. Jews bring souls into the room through stories. Stories have a resurrecting magic. And Howard, you stepped up on behalf of the family to share some stories of Sandi, who you knew since she was 14 years old. I invite you to share some words with us.
In trying to figure out how you summarize a life in just a few words and a few moments, it's pretty difficult. And so, as I was thinking about it, my turn. As I was thinking about it, three strands came into mind. Three important strands of who Sandi was came to mind. First, her Jewishness. First of all, she grew up only blocks away from Bethel Synagogue, which was the center of family life for Sandi and Corky and Harriet and Elaine and her parents and her grandparents. And there she was involved with USY, and she was involved in junior congregation, and she was bat mitzvah, and she went to Bet HaMidrash, and she grew up in what I would call the shtetl of North Minneapolis, because that's really what it was. I mean, North Minneapolis was a unique, beautiful Jewish community unto itself. She went to Camp Ramah. She graduated Bet HaMidrash. So Jewishness was an important part of her life. That's one strand. Second strand, family. You know, Corky and I had the unique opportunity to live in a variety of places early in our marriage for reasons that only Uncle Sam will know. We lived in such high points as Muskegon, Michigan, where Barry was born, and Sterling, Illinois, and we lived in Colonia, New Jersey. We lived in where Dana was born, yes. We lived in Pittsburgh, and then we went to a high point. We gave Sandi a break. We lived in the Bay Area. The reason I say we gave Sandi a break is because Sandi visited us literally in every single one of those places. Now you have to really feel that family is important to schlep to Muskegon, Michigan, and Sterling, Illinois. But she did. She did. She visited us every place. And Newport News, Virginia. I forgot Newport News, Virginia. And so that was an important additional strand of Sandi. The third strand was that she was a fighter. Sandi fought health issues from early on in her life. I mean, many of you are aware, of course, of the fact that she, Corky donated a kidney to Sandi 47 years ago. And that was the pinnacle of prior problems, but those problems began to be resolved. I should mention, by the way, that when she visited us in Newport News, she was waiting for a kidney and had to actually go through dialysis in Newport News. So she visited us when she was ill enough to still have to go through dialysis. So that's the family, but that's also the fighter, because she wasn't willing to give up life. She wasn't willing to give up on living her life. And through that all, she became a travel agent and then a paralegal. And she lived a life filled with friendships and fun and travel. And she didn't let her illnesses get in the way of those realities for her.
Israel.
That's right. She lived, thank you, she lived in Israel 6 months on kibbutz. And the kibbutz she lived on is on that poster right behind you. So we're talking about a woman who lived life, who fought to live life, who struggled to live life, to whom family was incredibly important, to whom Jewishness was incredibly important, and there's no doubt that her memory will be forever. Oh, bless you.
We all knew the word you were going to land on. Howard is the only one who planned to speak, and this is an emotional moment for many, many people here. But this is also a moment of community together. You are with people who are here because they love and care for you. If there is anybody else who wants to share a word of memory, with no expectation, want to give the opportunity. Know that there'll be many occasions. And as grief becomes less raw, as the space between the waves gets wider, I hope that there will be many chances to share stories of who Sandi was and who Sandi continues to be for you. As you were talking, Howard, I thought about one of my favorite lines from one of my favorite writers. E.L. Doctorow said that writing a novel is a lot like driving at night. You can only see as far as the headlights shine, but you can make the entire trip that way. Driving at night. You can only see as far as the headlights shine, but you can make the whole trip that way. That's not just how you write a novel, that's how you write a life. You don't know what twists come along the road. What challenges, what obstacles, what blessings, what miracles. All you can see is just a little bit of road ahead of you. And what matters most, is that you have those things inside you that lights up that piece of road. As you shared stories with me over the phone over the last couple of days, we talked a little bit in synagogue. You talked about a woman with a vivacious love of life, with a profound commitment to family, with that fighting spirit, Howard, that you just made reference to. That's plenty of light to make the whole trip. It sounds like this was a life with many twists and turns. This was a life that at many points could have ended on the occasion of serious illness. And the fact that she made it more than 70 years in the world navigating through that twisty road is due to the light inside of her and the light that was shared by family. I hope that her memory for you continues to light the road ahead of you. I hope it makes it a little bit brighter. I hope that you'll continue to shine that light as you continue on your road through its twists and turns, through its bumps and through its miracles. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to gather in Sandi's memory. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to show you love and support and provide a little bit of light in a really dark and heavy time.
Thank you.
We're going to offer an El Malei Rachavim prayer. It's not typical to do this in a Shiva sort of gathering, but because we didn't have
a funeral gathering, this is a chance to do that. Her Hebrew name, do you know it? Sandy's Hebrew name?
Oh, shit. Rena.
Rena.
Rena Botley, we just got this from the Fagan.
Rena Butley, gets out for Vega. And that's all the rest. We ask in this prayer that the soul of Sandy and the soul of Rena Bat, Levi Yitzhak Vega be sheltered and cared for and wrapped up in a bond of everlasting life. El Malay Rachamim, Shochen Bamromim, Hamitzeh Menucha Nechona, Tachat Kanfei Ashchina, Umalot Kedoshim Atorim, Kezor Rakia Maschirim, Et Nishmat, Rena Bat Levi Yitzhak V'Fega, Shehalcha Li'olama, Ana Bala Rachamim, Hasirecha Beseter Kanafecha Li'olamim, Utzror Betzorcha Chayim, Et Nishmataha, Adonai Hu Nachlataha, V'tanuach V'shalom, Ahal Mishkava, V'nomahar. Amen. God, source of loving care, we ask you to receive Sandy's soul, to shelter it in the protecting shadow of your wings, to keep her spirit safe, and to bind up her spirit with the souls of all those who continue and will always continue to love her. May her eternity be peaceful. May her memory endure as a blessing. And we say together.
Amen.
Kaddish once more on page 68. Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'yalmad Yibrach Yerutei, V'yamlich Malchutei, V'chayichon V'yomechon, V'chayei Techol Beit Yisrael, V'agalal V'zman Kariv V'yimru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach V'olam Omer Amayah. Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitraham V'yitnaseh. V'yitadar V'yitalem V'yitalal Shmei Kusha V'rechu. Le'ilam Mikol Birchata V'shirata. Tushechata V'nechamata. Gamiram V'yalma V'yimru Amen. Yehei Shlomo Rabbah Min Shemaya. V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'Romav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru Amen. We'll take a moment to light a Shiva candle. Do you have matches somewhere?
In the drawer.
Nobody smokes anymore, right?
We're about to get matches.
Nobody smokes, but you
Nobody
might show
smokes, and there are no gas stoves anymore, so you know we're in trouble. But
Ripping it apart.
is he finding him? Is he succeeding?
What?
A barbecue lighter will work.
We got, boy, have we got a match.
Yep.
It doesn't work, but we got. Come on. There you go.
Tradition says, Ner Hashem Nishmat Adam, that God's candle is the soul of a human being. I hope this light helps you find your way a little bit through the dark time. Thank you so much for gathering us. Thank you for opening your home.
Thank you.
Anything that you want to share by way of instruction for what comes next?
There's food on the table, there's coffee, there's iced tea, there's water.
And there's us.
And there's more tissues.
And there's more tissues, right. please stay and swim with us.